I'm Dan Cooper, or, at least, that's what I told them. The 24th of November, 1971, started like any other day. I walked up to the Northwest Orient Airlines counter in Portland, Oregon, a nondescript man in his mid-42nd, dressed in a sharp business suit, black tie, white shirt, cash in hand. I bought a one-way ticket for flight number 305 to Seattle. No one gave me a second glance. That was the plan: blend in, stay calm, and let the game begin. Boarding that plane felt like stepping into a chess match. I settled into my seat, ordered a bourbon and soda while we waited to take off, the ice clinking softly in the glass. The hum of the engines, the chatter of passengers, it was all a cover for the storm brewing in my mind. A little after 3 p.m., I made my move. I slipped a note to the stewardess, a young woman with wide eyes. "I have a bomb," it read. Her gasp was almost silent as I opened my cheap attaché case, just enough to show a tangle of wires and red sticks, fake, but convincing enough. "Sit with me," I said, my voice steady. She obeyed, and I dictated my demands: 4 parachutes and $200,000 in $20 bills. The clock was ticking. I could feel the plane tense as she passed my note to the captain. The crew knew this wasn't a bluff. We circled Seattle, the city's lights twinkling below, while they scrambled to meet my terms. My heart pounded, but my face stayed cool. This wasn't just about money, it was about outsmarting them all. When we landed, I watched through the window as they loaded the ransom and chutes onto the tarmac. 36 passengers filed off, replaced by the goods. I kept a few crew members as insurance and ordered the pilot to take off again. Destination Mexico City, low and slow at 10,000 feet. The game was on. The cabin grew quiet, the crew's eyes darting my way. I was in control, but the real test was coming. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, a little after 8 p.m., I made my exit. The rear stairs creaked open, the night air rushing in, cold and wild. I strapped on a parachute basic, no steering, and stuffed the cash into a bag. The plane jolted as I stood at the edge, the dark forest below a blur of shadows. I didn't hesitate. With a deep breath, I jumped, the wind tearing at my suit, the money bag clutched tight. The parachute snapped open, and I was free-falling into the unknown. Did I make it? That's the question they've been asking for decades. The FBI, calling it Norjack, their fancy name for my little stunt, swarmed the case. They interviewed hundreds, tracked leads across the country, combed the plane for clues. By the 5th anniversary, they'd sifted through 800 suspects, narrowing it to 2 dozen. One guy, Richard Floyd McCoy, caught their eye. He pulled a similar stunt 5 months later, parachuting away with loot. They nabbed him, but he didn't match the stewardess's descriptions of me: same height, same build, but not the same man. I slipped through their net. Maybe I didn't survive. That parachute wasn't built for precision, and my dress shoes and suit weren't made for a rough landing in a dark, wooded night. A pro might have managed, but I wasn't one, or was I? In 1980, a kid found $5,800 of my $20 bills rotting by the Columbia River, serial numbers matching the ransom. A hint I crashed hard? Or proof I stashed it and walked away? The FBI leans toward the crash theory, but they can't prove it. My body never turned up. The DB thing? A press mix-up. They latched onto a guy with those initials, but he wasn't me. I was just Cooper, a name I plucked from thin air. The real me? Still out there, maybe sipping a drink on some beach, or maybe lost to the woods. The FBI gave up after years, but the legend grew. Amateurs still hunt for me, digging up theories, chasing ghosts. So, here I am, wherever I landed. Did I outsmart them all, or did the night claim me? You decide. What do you think? Did I make it, or am I a skeleton under the pines? Tell me your take, because this Skyjacker's tale isn't over yet.
That's my story, folks. The DB Cooper hijacking. Lived from the jump. What's your theory on my fate? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to Breakout Chronicles for more tales that defy the odds. Catch you next time.